Hello, my diamonds, my Teletubbies. It's SheilaTruelove. I'm just laying here in my bed on Saturday, and I was just thinking about a lot of the things that I've been going through. Just putting up with so much. You suppress so much in your life, and I notice that when I have cocktails, normally I'm good after 2 or 3 cocktails. I'm good. But once I have like 4 cocktails, 5 ounces of like 4 cocktails, I speak without a filter. I speak without a filter and I let everything out because when you've been doing nothing but kissing booty, suppressing everything, keeping everything in, and keep in mind, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, so I suppressed a lot. I deal with my children and I'm constantly talking on eggshells, walking on eggshells, kissing their behind. They act like they do so much for me. They don't do nothing for me. I ask these kids, I told them my love language is reciprocity. Quality time that you spend with me also. I say quality time meaning the time that we spend together has to be meaningful. Now, I spend time with my son on Saturdays and everything goes his way. And then he gets on social media and have the nerve to talk about me like a dog and act like he do so much for me. That boy don't do nothing for me. He don't do much of nothing for me. I could do more for him than he could ever do for me. He tries to paint me like I'm this bottomless pit that I can never be satisfied. I'm a very, very independent lady. My Teletubbies and my diamonds, I'm very independent. I don't ask my kids for much of nothing. If you're coming my way and you're passing Rite Aid, can you pick up my medicine? I appreciate it. And I pay for my own stuff. Anytime my son comes to visit me, I have to pay him. I put gas in his car for him to come to see me. But he wants to act like he does so much for me. He don't do much of nothing for me. Nothing. Now, there has been a time when I wasn't feeling well and I was in the hospital and he came through when I was in the hospital. But he didn't do anything for me that I wouldn't have done for him 10 times over. I keep trying to ask his kid, if you were sick, would you want somebody to step up for you? If you needed help, would you want someone to step up for you? Of course he would want all those things. But he's not willing to give it. And all he do is get on social media and bash the hell out of me, which he blocked me on his social media because he don't want me to defend myself. I have let this man talk about me so many times, so badly, and I have said nothing. I just shut up and take it. I just kiss ass, shut up and take it, and I don't say nothing. This one time I spoke out on TikTok, and I just said, why don't we make a video together so that way people could hear both sides of the situation. Oh no, he blocked me for that. Because he knows that 99.9% of everything out of his mouth is a lie. That's why he don't want to do a video together. I even saw in some of the comments on his channel, they said, why don't you do a video with your mom? And then other people said, why do you talk so badly about your mother, man? That's the only one mother you're going to have. And then other people say, I'm jealous of you. The way your mother treats you, so many people are jealous of him. And all he could do and think of is to get on social media and talk about me like a dirty dog. Really? And then anytime somebody block you, and then they want to come up in your face and pretend like they're your friend and that they love you, that's a snake. That's somebody who's fake, phony, underhanded, and a snake. But he has no self-awareness at all. Mr. so-called social worker. He's not a good social worker at all. That's not his calling. You can't even fix your own family. And yet you want to act like you're a social... No. You have a mother who says, we're all Christians, right? Okay, so if we're all Christians, when we can't see eye to eye on things, we're supposed to let the scriptures fix it. He wants to say, oh, you want to weaponize the scriptures, you want to weaponize the Bible. No, I don't. The Bible, it says what it says. Read the whole chapter so you don't take it out of context. You know, like I said, his father, my kid's father, when they left, when he left, he said, I'm not giving up my life for these kids because they're not going to give it up for me, their life up for me. And it's true. They're not willing to give up no time, no energy, nothing. And the parent who stays on the job, that's the parent who gets treated the worst. So what did I do? I blocked them. They can no longer have access to me. You can't call me. You can't text me. You can't do anything because you could block me. I'm going to block you right back. Because like I said, I don't let nobody treat SheilaTruelove badly. You don't value me. You can't appreciate me. I'm not a perfect parent. I never said I was. But I did a whole lot of good things too. Every goal that I set for those kids, it was achieved. Thanks to Jehovah God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. And they can't see anything that I've done right. All you can think about and focus on is everything she did wrong. She ain't no good. She oh my God, the things that this boy said about me. He didn't make one video. Okay, the first video he made about me, I shut up. I didn't say nothing. But I told him how it made me feel. He didn't care about how I felt, but yet he's always talking about when people don't care how you feel about things, they're not respecting your boundaries. Everything out of his mouth is a boundary, a boundary. By the way, in case people didn't know, he suffers from paranoia. Yeah. I got to protect myself. Protect yourself from what? You have to protect yourself from people trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I have unconditional love for my kids. I'm looking out for your best interests. And I'm a genuine person. That's somebody you can trust. But because of their paranoia with this governing body Jehovah's Witness garbage, we can't seem to fix anything. And then they want to act like it's something different. I did something that was the size of a grain of sand, and they took it and turned it into a whole mountain. And my daughter too, look, I've been done with her for a long time because she got some serious issues. But you know the beauty of that? Her children are treating her exactly the way she treats me. Oh yeah. Her children don't want to have nothing to do with her. I bet you if those kids was on my watch, they wouldn't be agnostic. They lost all belief in God and Christ because of the kind of mother that she is. How the hell did that happen? You got a husband that's supposed to be an elder or supposed to be on God and Jesus, but yet your two children are agnostic? Now that's an apostate. They accuse me of being an apostate. Your kids are an apostate. It's called reap what you sow. You plant rotten seeds, you get back rotten fruit. How does it feel? How does it feel to have your kids hate your guts? Or better yet, they don't really want to have much to do with you. They're not going to say they hate you. But anytime your kids, when you call, they don't even want to answer the phone. They try to avoid you as much as possible because you're always talking about how I don't support you. Well, your kids feel the same way. You don't support them. You don't support their lifestyle. My kids want me to support them in every single thing, even when they're wrong. But yet, she don't support her kids when they're wrong. My son, he needs to take a seat and sit down and shut the F up. The only reason why he talks badly about parents the way that he does is because he don't have no children. You have to have experience. That's why I said he'll never be a good social worker. He'll never in life be a good social worker, never. He don't have no experience to know what drugs is like, alcohol issues, having children, how hard it is. What experience do you have? Then you want to come out with some dumb nonsense, an analogy. You're not going to let a cancer doctor work on you just because he didn't have cancer? Baby, that's two different worlds. You can read all the books in the world when it comes to learning how to ride a bike. But until you get on that bike and pedal and fall a few times, get back on it, pedal and fall and learn how to be sturdy on that bike, that's experience. That's what will make you a good teacher. The same thing with swimming. Go ahead and read all the books on swimming that you can. And then you got to jump in that water. You got to pedal. You might sink and fall until you learn how to keep your head above the water. But I don't care how many books. He thinks, you can read books. You can do case studies. No, you have to have experience. And he don't have none of that. You want to talk about you parented me when you've been a social worker since you was 8? This is my son. The one who I spoke. Every video that you see about me talking about my son has been nothing but positive, positive, positive. And ever since he's been hanging out with his sister, dealing with her, she hates my guts. She's made that clear. Anytime a man came on the scene, honey, she threw us in the garbage like we were nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing. But you want to sit up here and talk about, now I blocked you. How does that feel? You know, it doesn't bother them. Because in order for something to hurt you or bother you, you have to at least love the person, care about them, at least like them. They don't have none of those feelings for me. And the sad thing is, when it came to my son, he deceived me so badly. And he was good at his game. I got to give it to him. He was fake. He was phony. He was like those Jehovah's Witnesses. All they do is wear a mask. But after a while, the mask falls off. Eventually, that mask will fall off. And it breaks my heart. My daughter already broke my heart so badly, I was in the hospital. My son, it makes my heart saddened. He don't break my heart because I already experienced it, and I'm not going to let nobody else do it to me again. I already let a man break my heart. That was Gregory Elliott and my daughter, both of them Taurus, fucking hard-headed, stubborn as hell, no loyalty, no integrity. And now my son, he's trying to copy off of his sister because he wants her lifestyle. She don't have no freedom. She don't have no peace. And she don't have no joy. But he wants to sign up for that garbage. He wants to try to go back to being a Jehovah's Witness. He left Jehovah's Witnesses. Why? Because he said there's no real love there. Did he forget that part? No, I think he has what? Dementia? Alzheimer's developing? There's no real love there. And when I talk about Jesus, it irritates them. That tells me there's something like demonic in my kids. When I was running the show, if you will, they weren't like that. But now that they took the ball and now they're doing things, they running it. Child, please, it's a mess. It's a mess. Grandkids are all crazy and all jacked up. But you want to tell me that I wasn't a good mother? You're right. I was a great mother, and I was a better mother than you. I didn't have, my kids ain't agnostic, at least not yet. Leaning towards being an atheist. What kind of good parent has led their kids down that avenue? Are you serious? And with my son, like I said, I blocked him. I just blocked them both, and I'm going to have peace. Right now, I'm hurting. It hurts a bit, but you know it's going to take time, and it's going to take some adjustment. It ain't going to take that much time. It ain't going to take too much longer, baby. Because you're not going to sit up here and treat me badly. You sit up here and smile in my face while you stab me in my back. Mr. Libra man. Libra. I see why Libra and Gemini get along so well. My daughter's Mercury is in Gemini, yeah. His is in Libra. They get along. Both of their moon is in Cancer. That's why they get along. They will always understand each other, and they'll never understand me. Another reason why I'm washing my hands and wiping my hands. It took me 42 years to wash my hands and wipe my hands of my son. That took some work, and that took some doing, honey. Because I'm tired. After you get a certain age, you get tired of the fake, phony, pretend like you're my friend. You don't never want to do things Jehovah God's way, Jesus Christ's way, and the Bible. And then he's going to tell me, don't talk to me about God until you practice what you preach. Honey, I do nothing but practice what I preach. What do I preach? Follow Jesus' teachings. What do I preach? Learn how to be forgiving. What do I preach? Leave the past in the past. Let it go. What do I preach? Be genuine, authentic. Stop working on being nice and work on being a good person and be kind. Yeah, I stand on what I say. Everything that man says on his channel and his social media is nothing but projection, deflection. He has no self-awareness. He thinks he's perfect. He thinks he's perfect, honey. You'll notice when he speaks, everything is somebody else's fault. Everybody he encounters, he has a problem with everybody. Nobody is good. Nobody. Everybody's jacked up but him. And then the way you can sit up there and you want to talk about me like a dog behind my back. That did it for me. That was the last straw. When you blocked me on TikTok, but that's okay, baby, because I still got the goddamn video. I heard it and I read the comments. One monkey don't stop no show, and there's always a way around it. But he's not smart enough to understand that, but whatever. Yeah, I heard everything you said about me. You're mad at me because you want somebody to kiss your behind, and I'm not going to do it. You want a lap dog, a floor mat, and I'm not going to do it. Because that would not make me a good parent. I would be a horrible parent if I was like that. But like I said, I'm going through it, and I want to share my hardships so that this could show other people that you're not the only one. Why do you put your business out there? Because it helps so many other people. That's why. It helps other people to understand you're not the only one going through this when these kids refuse to honor you, but they want you to support them and love them and care about them. I'm not going to love, care about nothing that refuse to honor and respect me. And honor and respect goes hand in hand. Ask most of these adult children, what does it mean to honor your parents? I bet you 99.9 of them don't know. They don't even know what honor means. They don't know. And they don't care to know. I was just making this video because I was looking at a movie with this Nigerian. It's called I Married a Monster. And it's a Nigerian movie from 2024. And when I was looking at the traits and how deceptive and underhanded people can be, it just put me in the mind of these kids, and it put me in the mind of what their father said. I think about that every day. I'm not giving up my life for these kids because they're not going to give it up for me. I'm not giving up my life for these kids because they're not going to give it up for me. And when he said give it up, he's talking about their time and their energy. They give up a little time and energy and they want to act like they're doing so much for you. Oh, hell no. The last thing my son did for me was help me carry down a treadmill. And then I got a new one that I didn't even ask him for no help. For me to move that treadmill into my house, it was heavy. I did it on my own. I put the treadmill together on my own. I didn't ask him to help me. Because I know that when he helps you with a little bit of something, he wants to act like he's doing this on a regular basis. He's not consistent about anything, but yet he'll talk about consistency. Nobody's consistent anymore. See what I mean about projection, deflection? He's never consistent about anything. Nothing he does. Nothing. He'll do something 2 or 3 times, and then he'll act like, oh, this is what they always keep asking, and it's never enough. What? Anytime that kid needs something, I show up, I'm ready to help. I take good care of my brother too, because I believe that family are supposed to look out for family. And I stand on what I say. I practice what I preach. Just talk to my brother. Anybody who knows my relationship, they know my brother. They need to talk to my brother and ask my brother, how well do I take care of him? That kid needs for nothing as long as I'm here. We study the Bible together. We do a verse of the day from the Bible together. I ask that from my son and daughter. Help build me up spiritually. Help keep me spiritually strong. They don't want to contribute none of that. But they want to act like they're doing so much for me. They don't do nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing for me that's meaningful. I get together with my son, whatever, my daughter, we got to talk about what she wants to talk about. I can never express my feelings. Oh, no. That's forbidden. We got to talk about everything that they want to talk about. Everything. Then they talk about boundaries, but they want you to respect their boundaries, but they don't respect yours. I told my son, my boundary is stop talking badly about me on social media. Stop doing that. You think he listens? No. But he want to talk about boundary this and boundary. His boundaries are sick. His boundary is validate him all the time, agree with everything he says, and praise him. Don't you ever, ever, ever disagree. That's his boundary. Now tell me that's not somebody who needs to be in a psychiatric hospital. Does that sound like somebody who's a good social worker? That's not a good social worker. You can't see and you lack understanding because you have no experience about anything. You're not a good social worker. And I'm so glad that I'm able to just finally, it feels so good to speak freely And no, I'm not drinking. I don't have no cocktails. Like I said, I was just looking at this movie, and that's what triggered this conversation. But they'll sit up there and say, oh, she must be drinking, blah, whatever, child, bye. And that's why you're blocked. And I'm going to keep you blocked. I pray to Jehovah to replace you. I'm looking for a new godson and a goddaughter. I'm done with these kids, man. No matter what you do, it's never good enough. I worked hard as a single mother, and they don't acknowledge or appreciate not one thing. All they want to focus on is everything that you messed up on. But you know what? There's a lot of things that I didn't mess up on. How about that? Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.